All hail the Clicks crew! Alright guys, today we're taking a look at some brand new Marvel Comics, Captain America, and the Avengers Heroclix previews. We missed a few of them because I was away for work, but we're back and we're going to review all the previews that we have. So I just want to say special thanks to channel sponsor Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama, home of the ROC. No matter if you're in the United States or around the world, Lucky Dice Cafe has the winning role for our gaming needs. You can visit them at luckydicecafé.com or on their Facebook page using the link from the description of this video. Mr. ClicksFlix is also sponsored by trollandtoad.com, one of the largest online gaming retailers. Use promo code MrClicksFlix for 5% off your Heroclix order today. Alright, so now that we got the channel sponsors taken care of, we're going to go ahead and take a look at these previews. I do know that if you like these previews, Lucky Dice Cafe is accepting pre-orders right now. I'm not sure about trollandtoad.com, but if you want to pick these up at singles, pretty much the day of set dropping, they have singles available, and the promo code will work for that, so you'll get 5% off. So please support those that support the channel. And that's enough of me blabbing because we got a lot of previews. Let's go. Alright, so first up we have number 67, Machine Smith. He has the Masters of Evil, Skeleton Crew, and Robot keywords. He has 2 traits and a special on his movement. His first trait is Assemble Bolts and Masters. We've seen this before. It seems like there's something that they're going to be doing a lot of. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. So if you want to see what it does, check out the YouTube card now for another figure that does that. He also has improved movement, ignores hindering. Then he has this really cool trait called Back Up My Consciousness, Shape Change, Power, generate a robot dupe bystander max 1. When Machine Smith would be KO'd if his robot dupe bystander is on the map, instead turn him to click number 6 and then KO the robot dupe. That's pretty cool there. I always like the, hard to kill type things, so that's pretty cool there. And what's the robot dupe do exactly? Well, it looks like it has a 6 movement, 9 attack, 16 defense with toughness and indomitability, 1 damage with shape change, and it's got this trait, robot dupe of my enemies. When robot dupe starts the game, choose a standard opposing character of 100 points or less. Robot dupe has the robot keyword in addition to the chosen character's displayed combat values and displayed standard powers. They may change as that character's dial is clicked. If the chosen character isn't on the map, robot dupe's dial is his printed dial. So you have a chance at getting a lot of mileage, especially with how this set's shaping up. There are a ton of really good 100-point figures. So I wouldn't go to sleep on this guy just because of the robot dupe. Then you've got the special on the movement, which is nanobot body, plasticity, sidestep, stealth. All those are good ones. The stealth's really good with the improved movement. I always roll my eyes when they're like stealth, but no improved movement. So have fun with that. So he's 90 points, has a 5 range dual target. He has a 8 movement with that special, 10 attack with energy explosion, 18 defense with invulnerability and indomitability, 3 damage with perplex. That seems like a little expensive, admittedly, but really you're paying for that robot dupe. So what you're going to use this guy for is kind of like a call-in battery, and you're going to let the robot dupe pick some hoss that's on the other team. And then if that character gets KO'd, which is the point, then you have a couple different ways. The dupe could either be KO'd by attack, or you could push him to death, or if Machine Smith is going to get KO'd, you get to KO the robot dupe instead, and then bring it back and choose a new character. So this has a lot of potential here. I hated this figure when it was first previewed, but the more I read it, the more I'm like, this guy's kind of sneaky good. So definitely something there to this one. So yeah, definitely a thumbs up for me. I hope I pull one. So next up, we're taking a look at actually an LE figure. This is the release day figure, and this is Baron Zemo, so that's why he's number 100 and has like this chase rarity backlit, but he is the release day figure. So he has the Hydra, Masters of Evil, Thunderbolts, and Scientist keywords. He has 2 traits. First one is destroying the Avengers is only the first step leadership when Baron Zemo uses it and succeeds. Until your next turn, friendly characters with the Masters of Evil keyword can use improved movement, destroys blocking, and all team abilities opposing characters can use that aren't uncopyable. That's pretty powerful there. Depending on what team abilities your opponent has, that can be really good. The improved movement destroys blocking is really good too. There's a lot of teams that really rely on that, so that's pretty cool there. We have the other trait, which is assemble the bolts and masters. It's the same as all of the other ones. And it's a good trait. Don't get me wrong. I know I'm kind of glossing over it, but it's a good trait. And then the special on his defense is, I've been playing this for decades, combat reflexes, mastermind, willpower. So that's all pretty good. 75 points, Masters of Evil team ability. Has a 5 range, single target, 8 movement with stealth, 11 attack, psychic blast, 18 defense with that special, 3 damage without wit. This is actually pretty good. The last couple release day figures were... I don't want to say bad, but they weren't great. This guy's actually usable, so I'll be happy to acquire one on release day. I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, definitely something worth having there. And so the next one we're going to take a look at is Captain Marvel, and she is a super rare. She's number 54 in the set. She has the Alpha Flight, Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Kree, Cosmic, and Soldier keywords. And also, guys, I forget where all these previews come from. If you're in the Mr. Clicks Flicks Facebook group, I did share from the original source where everything came from. So if you want to go there and check out their links, that's something you could do if you wanted to. But she is a super rare. She has 2 traits, a special on her movement and her defense. Her first trait is Assemble Avengers. It's the same as all the other assemble traits. Then she has another trait, which is My Cat is Not a Firkin. Free once per game, generate a Chewy bystander. So what is the Chewy bystander? Chewy has a 6 movement with a special, 10 attack, Blades, Claws, Fangs, 17 defense, with Blades, Claws, Fangs, 1 damage with Perplex, and the tiny symbol. Even if it was just a 1 damage with Perplex, that's good. The Blades is even better. And what's the special? It's maybe it is a Flurkin. It's Flurry, Plasticity, Giant Reach 2. So you can use Flurry and Flurry Blades, so you have the potential to hit for 12 with a bystander. You know, is it likely? No, but it could happen. So she has 2 different point values, 150 points and 95 points. Has the Avengers team ability. And I forgot to cover the powers, so let's talk about those. Special arm movement is called Higher, hypersonic speed when Captain Marvel uses it. After resolutions, deal penetrating damage to the opposing character she moved through. If that character is a vehicle, deal 3 penetrating damage instead. So that's really cool there. And then her special on her defense is Keep Standing Up, Stop Invincible. Captain Marvel has protected outwit. So stop clicks are always good. At 150 points, she has a 7 range single target, 12 movement with that special and the flight ability, 12 attack, 18 defense with impervious and indomitability, 4 damage with probability control. At 95 points, she still has that special, 11 attack, 18 defense with invulnerability, and 3 damage with probability control. I like both of them. I'm having a hard time justifying 55 extra points for the first one for effectively a +1 attack and damage. If I didn't pull any support, I could see it, but in constructed, I'm 100% playing the 95 point version. But yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at the next figure. Alright, so next up we have Azrael. Azrael, I think is how you say that. So he is number 37B in the set, so he's a Prime figure. He is the rare Prime. He has the Wakanda, Past, Ruler, and Warrior keywords. He has improved movement, ignores elevated and hindering terrain. I wish Wakanda would have less primes. If Wakanda had less primes, it would be a better thing. But, you know, it is what it is. So his first trait is You Will Not Take Wakanda. When a friendly character with the Wakanda keyword attacks an opposing character that clears, that's closer to your starting area than that character's starting area, that friendly character modifies attack and damage +1. Wakanda Chieftain is a special on his damage. Wakanda Chieftain, the Black Panther. Exploit weakness leadership. When Asri KOs an opposing character that's closer to your starting area than that character's starting area, remove an action token from each friendly character with the Wakanda keyword. So this is kind of taking advantage of the fact that Wakanda has low mobility. They don't really have too much. There's that one Shiri that can like kind of pick up characters and mass transport them around, but you know, so this guy does help out. I wish they would have just made him 10 points more and not a prime, if I'm being honest. But he's still not bad. He will help Wakanda, but I wish I didn't have to choose between him and the uncommon prime from Avengers, Black Panther, and the Illuminati. So he has a 9 movement with charge, 11 attack with Blades, Claws, Fangs, 18 defense with super senses, 3 damage with that special for 40 points. This guy's not bad. Again, I wish I didn't have to choose between this and the other one. I would have happily paid 10 points more for what he does. But he does seem to help out Wakanda with a problem of theirs, because you are probably going to be engaging your opponent on your side of the map. Just if they're moving their full movement and you're moving your full movement, it's just Wakanda's not very fast. So, yeah, so there's that. And next, we're going to look at Arno Stark. This is a super rare set, number 55. And it is a pretty decent looking one. Has the Stark Industries armor future keywords. Has a special on the movement and a special on the defense. Special on the movement is stabilizing armor for missile array. Sidestep. At the beginning of your turn, you may choose that until your next turn. Arno Stark has immobile. If you do, until your next turn, it has a range value of 12. Improved targeting ignores characters, elevated, hindering, and outdoor blocking terrain and range. Make a ranged attack. When Arno Stark does, all opposing characters within range and line of fire become targets, and each hit target is dealt 1 penetrating damage instead of normal damage. So this guy's basically a mobile turret, which is really cool. I think that's a neat mechanic. I'd like to see more things kind of start setting up like that. That's pretty cool. And then the special on the defense is MMXX armor. Invincible. When Arno Stark would take damage from an attack, you may roll a d6, 5 or 6. He takes no damage instead. So it's not reducing, it just doesn't take damage. It's basically souped up invincible. It's not protected pulse wave. If it was protected pulse wave, I'd say this was a home run figure. So he's got 2 different point lines, 90 points and 60 points. Has an 8 range single target. Starts off on the 90 point dial with an 8 movement with that special and the flight ability, 11 attack, energy explosion, 18 defense with the special and indomitability, 4 damage without wit. And then at 60 points, 7 movement with that special, 10 attack, energy explosion, 18 defense with the special and indom, and 3 damage without wit. I like this figure a lot. I could definitely see trying to get 2 of them. I wouldn't worry too much about more than 2, but I think that turret ability could be cool, depending on what's going on. I think that's pretty neat. I wish the outdoor blocking was just destroy blocking. I think it'd be more useful, but again, it's still pretty good. So yeah, definitely a cool figure there. And next one that we're going to take a look at is yet another Prime figure, and this is the Prime War Machine, the Prime of War Machine, and it's Punisher War Machine. I think a lot of people called it. I kind of figured this is what it was going to be. I really like the deco on it, though. If the paint on it turns out anything like this image, I think it's really cool looking. So he's number 53B in the set. Improved targeting ignores hindering. Has Marvel Knights shield, armor, and soldier keywords. So Marvel Knights looks like they're finally getting a major heavy hitter. that can take some blows. They've had kind of like glass cannons before, but nobody that could, like take it as well as they dished it out. He's got 2 traits and a special on his attack and damage. First trait is +5 points. It's the man inside the real machine. During force construction, you may include a character named Punisher of 75 points or less on your sideline. When Punisher War Machine will be KO'd, instead replace him with Punisher on its last non-KO click. Then roll a d6 and heal the Punisher half that result. This game, that Punisher can't be healed any other way. Protected pulse wave. So that's pretty cool there. The armor gets destroyed. You pop out a Punisher, and you can go to town with a dinged up Punisher. There's some Punishers that could be pretty good. I'd like to, even though it wouldn't be modern age, the shifting focus Punisher could be cool to use with this guy. But anyway, then the other trait is the war never ends. Colossal stamina. If Punisher War Machine has 2 action tokens, he has free make and attack. So that's real cool there. So basically, you're able to attack every single turn with this character, and twice a turn if you have 2 action tokens. Because what you're able to do is, okay, turn 1 you attack, you get 1 action token. Turn 2 you attack, you get 2 action tokens. Turn 3, you make the order I would do it in is make my free attack, and then I would use my colossal stamina if I needed to make my 4th attack. So you'd be able to make 4 attacks, and then after that you can make 2 attacks a turn for the rest of the game, as long as he kept having those tokens on him, and then just have somebody back there to heal him up. And then the special on his attack is I just need to light the fuse. Energy explosion, knockback. Both those are pretty good. Energy explosion's a good one. And then the special on his damage is if you were scared of the Punisher before, perplex, but only to target opposing characters. Okay. Perplex is good. 2 different point lines, 90 points and 60 points. Has the shield team ability, which is really good. Has a 7 range dual target. At 90 points, has a 10 movement with running shot and the flight ability, 12 attack with that special, 18 defense, invincibility, and indomitability, 4 damage with the special. And then at 60 points, has a 9 movement with running shot and the flight ability, 11 attack with the special, 18 defense, and with invincibility and indomitability, 3 damage with the special. Man, that 90 points is good. 60 points is oh so much better. Man, this guy's just super good. I normally don't want the super rare prime, but I definitely want this one. Next up, we have Red Skull, number 41 in the set. Has the AIM, Hydra, Power Elite, Skeleton Crew, Ruler, and Soldier keywords. Has the improved movement, ignores hindering. He looks to be a rare. He has a trait, special on his movement and special on his damage. His trait is Power Elite. The power action of opposing characters with X squares are double power actions. Instead, X is the number of friendly characters with the Power Elite keyword with different names. So that's really cool there. The ability to turn power actions into double power actions. Stone Cold stop a lot of teams in their place. So that's cool there. Even if the rest of this figure does nothing, that's worth... that trait is worth ruminating on and seeing if you can take advantage of it. Then the special on his movement is returning time and time again to plague the world, sidestep stealth. Okay. And then special on his damage is subversive strategist, leadership, outwit, shape change. When Red Skull succeeds at leadership or shape change, give him a subversive token, max 3. Free, remove 1 of the tokens. Red Skull can use outwit and additional time this turn equal to the number of tokens removed. So you're able to remove your token and use outwit basically a second time, and you can keep racking them up. So that's pretty cool there. He's 75 points, has the Hydra and Underworld team abilities. 75 points looks pretty reasonable for what we're getting here. We got a 5 range single target, 8 movement with that special, 11 attack with precision strike, 18 defense with mastermind, indomitability, 3 damage with that special. Definitely going to try to pick this guy up. I think that's a really cool version of Red Skull there, so definitely on the list of things to get. Man, number 73 in the set. He has the Lethal Legion, Masters of Evil, and Wrecking Crew keywords. He has one trait, which is pretty cool. It makes use of the Click's FX base, or at least it sort of does. And it is called Take on the properties of the elements free. Choose an adjacent square terrain type, and Absorbing Man can use the corresponding powers and abilities until you choose again. Use the wall marker as a reminder by positioning it as the chosen terrain type. So I think you like place it in that terrain just to like kind of remind you. So obscuring terrain is improved movement, ignores hindering and blocking terrain, and is super senses and modify speed +2. Hindering terrain is improved movement, ignores hindering terrain, stealth, regeneration, and modify attack +2. Blocking terrain is improved movement, destroy blocking, super strength, close combat expert, and modify defense +2. Water terrain, improved movement, ignores water, poison, shape change, and modify damage +2. So those are pretty neat there. He's 100 points, has the Masters of Evil team ability, 2 range, single target, 8 movement with charge, 11 attack, quake, 17 defense with invincibility, and indomitability, 4 damage with empower. So far out of the chase figures, this is probably the weakest one, but he's still really cool. I like their interpretation of his power. I don't really know that I don't know that you can make a good Absorbing Man without making him OP, so that's why we kind of get lackluster Absorbing Men, but still I think this one's really cool. Probably my least desired chase so far, but still a pretty cool one. So next up, we're going to take a look at another chase, and this particular one is Doctor Strange. So we're getting another chase Doctor Strange. This is number 72 in the set. He has the Avengers, Defenders, Illuminati, and Mystical keywords. He has a trait and a special on his defense. His trait is Summon Everyone for the Final Battle, phasing teleport, but only if Doctor Strange isn't adjacent to an opposing character. When Doctor Strange uses it, you may generate a portal marker in the square he began or ended movement in. Removing any other portal markers. Other friendly characters occupying or adjacent to a square with the portal marker can use phasing teleport and modify speed +2. So that could be pretty neat there. There's definitely some uses for it. It's a good repositioning thing if you end up needing it. Then the special on his defense is Allow me to assist you. Super senses defend, but when a friendly character replaces their defensive value, you may choose that the replacement value be 1 higher or 1 lower than his printed defensive value. So you'd go 1 lower if you were trying to use something like support or something like that. Yeah, so you could defend with his printed 18, get him up to 19, which is pretty cool. He's 75 points, has the Mystics and Power Cosmic team abilities. He has an 8 range single target, 10 movement with stealth, 11 attack with telekinesis, 18 defense with that special, 3 damage with probability control. This isn't a terrible Doctor Strange. I like the 11s up front, but I think this is a semi-depowered version. But this one's still pretty cool. Again, not the most powerful version, but definitely a cool one. Wouldn't be super upset. I think the other chases that we've seen have been better, but this one's not bad. So the next thing we're going to see is not a chase. We're back to the rares, and this one is Melter. So this is an Iron Man villain, and he has the Hammer Industries, Lethal Legion, Magia, and Masters of Evil keywords. He's number 41 in the set. He has 2 traits and a special on his attack. His first trait is Assembled Bolts and Masters. Again, we've seen this stuff before. Then his other trait is Iron Man, my mortal foe. Opposing characters that can use Impervious or Invulnerability modify attack -2 when attacking Melter. So that's pretty cool there. I think that's definitely something that we'll see in this set. It seems like a lot of characters have Invulnerability or Impervious. So that's pretty cool there. Then the special on his attack is Melted Your Weapons. Penetrating Psychic Blast. When he hits with it, give a melted token to a hit character if they don't have one already. For the rest of the game, a character with a melted token modifies damage -1 when making ranged attacks. That's pretty cool. So he's 50 points, has a Masters of Evil team ability, 5 range, single target, 8 movement with running shot, 10 attack with that special, 17 defense toughness, 3 damage with enhancement. For 50 points, this guy's not terrible. I wish he had an 11 up front. Switch first and second click for that. I'd even take the 7 movement if they were trying to save points. Just to modify damage -1 would be pretty cool. This guy's not bad. I mean, for 50 points, he's not bad. We're getting spoiled with how good 50-point figures are, because I remember when this guy would have been way more than 50 points. And now it's like, is he good enough for 50 points? But yeah, he's pretty cool. We haven't seen one of these. We might have seen a Melter in the Invincible Iron Man set, but that's getting to be a long time ago at this point. So the next figure we're going to take a look at is the Mandarin. He is number 61 in the set, so he's a super rare. He's got Mandarin minions, the hand, something that I can't see, mysticals, ruler, and scientist. So I think that's martial artist. And he's got a trait, which is two traits and a special on his damage. So the first trait is the Rings of the Mandarin. It is +5 through 30 points. And basically, it says during force construction, you may include a number of different Mandarin rings objects on this card for 3 points each. At the beginning of your turn, you may choose up to 2 Mandarin ring objects on this card, and Mandarin can use its effect until your next turn. Mandarin can't be equipped, so basically he doesn't get other objects put on him, so that's pretty cool there. Then his other trait is Chi Manipulation, Toughness. When Mandarin attacks a character with the armor keyword, that character can't use defensive powers that attack. So that's pretty cool there. We're taking away attack powers. I can think of a lot of characters that have the armor keyword that are pretty good, so taking away defense powers is phenomenal. And then he has this special on his damage, which is, it always comes at a price. Free, choose Outwit or Perplex or Probability Control. Mandarin can use the chosen power until your next turn. You may instead choose one of the powers, but if you do, I don't know. Anyway, it's basically you get to use more than one. My version of it's a little blurry, even though it's blown up. Such is life when you take things sometimes. But basically, you take 1 unavoidable damage if you do more than one. So that's pretty cool. I do like this Mandarin. However, there is something that I want to talk briefly about this Mandarin that I'm not quite sure how I feel about it, and it's that his Mandarin rings, those are all exclusives, and I don't know how much I like figures where you're only going to get a lot of use out of them if you have these con exclusive parts. Now I remember the Batman utility belt and stuff where it was kind of like that, but you still got things that were fairly easy to get, so that you could use the utility belt. Whereas this guy, it seems like a bulk of his utility is going to be tied up in these rings, which are convention exclusives. So I'm a little leery about that unless they're going to release like a Mandarin ring pack that has all 10 in them. Then I'm on board. But you guys let me know in the comments below what your favorite figure was out of this batch of previews. Again, I apologize for it taking so long to get this out. Like I said, I was out of town on business. Nothing to be done about it. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. As always, please remember that it's only critical miss if you don't have probability control.